Chapter 4. Gotta get your head in the game. Saihara had been a mess these past 2 days. It was already Wednesday, and he was low on leads. The voice didn't call again after the challenge. Where were the hints this guy promised? He wasn't even sure why he was doing this. Why did it matter? It was just some random guy playing a prank on him. So why did he care so much? Why did he want to meet him? He was starting to think Momota and Harukawa were right. He sat in the same seat as he was in last week with his friends, looking over a small list of leads he had accumulated. "Hi, Saihara-chan!" Saihara jumped at the new voice. He turned and saw a familiar boy standing next to him. It was the same guy from a week ago, standing right next to him. "Oh, Oma, right?" Saihara was surprised that someone was so willing to talk to him after only one encounter. "Yep, you didn't forget my name. If you did, I'd cry." He glanced over the papers Saihara had in front of him. "What you doing?" Saihara flushed slightly. How was he supposed to explain this to a complete stranger? Nothing really. Just a case. Kinda. Saihara struggled to explain. "I didn't know about cases involving High School Musical too." Oma giggled, looking at one of the papers near the end of the table. "It's kinda hard to explain," Saihara groaned. "I've got all day. Tell me. Oma slid into the seat in front of Saihara. Guess it really didn't matter. 2 heads were better than 1. "I'm on this radio show, right? With my friend Kaede, and for the past 2 weeks there has been some mysterious caller who keeps requesting High School Musical songs." Saihara chuckled. "So I've decided to figure out who they really are because they challenged me to do so." Oma's face looked blank for a moment. Then he smiled at Saihara and finally responded, "Well, that sounds super funny." "That was a lie. I bet he's super annoying. Can I help?" Saihara was surprised by the 2 different reactions Oma had presented. Even more that he wanted to help. Sure," Saihara questioned. "It'll probably be boring." "How can someone who requests High School Musical be boring? It's a work of art." Oma chef-kissed. "You're just a hater." Saihara sighed. "I guess you're right about it not being boring." Oma plopped down on the chair in front of Saihara. "Let's get started." 3 hours had passed. Saihara and Oma were still nowhere close to figuring out who the mysterious caller was. However, it wasn't because it was partially hard. Rather, they kept getting distracted. Oma was exhausting, but was one of the most interesting people Saihara had ever met. "Oma, what is your major?" "I'm a political science major, so I can take over the world," Oma explained. I guess that fits you." Saihara couldn't place it, but that seemed slightly off. "That was a lie. I'm actually a psychology major with a theater minor." That made more sense. "I would ask about the theater minor, but it somehow seems to fit you." Saihara thought about Oma being an actor on a stage. He could see him being really in character for any role he played. He really wanted to see that. "Really? Thanks, Saihara-chan." Oma's eyes shimmered. "You could be the Romeo to my Juliet." Saihara sputtered at the implications. I can't act at all, Oma." "Anyone can if they learn the proper skills, Saihara-chan," Oma pointed out. "Just like anyone can solve who this caller is." "Huh? Do you know who it is?" Saihara jerked up. "Gee, Saihara-chan, I was kidding," Oma shrugged. "So, any ideas of who it is?" "Oh, yes, of course." "Don't tell me Saihara-chan forgot about that little detail." Oma smirked. I didn't." Saihara paused. That sounded familiar. Really familiar. "You got me." The voice paused. "Can I pick a song now?" Saihara had completely forgotten about that. Oh, yes, of course." The voice was silent for a moment. "Don't tell me you forgot about that little detail." It clicked, and for the dumbest reason ever. Everything made sense now. Why Oma was helping Saihara, why Aruma was so surprised to hear about his embarrassing crush, how the voice knew he was a detective. Kokichi Oma was the voice. "Hey, Earth-da Saihara-chan!" Oma was waving his hand in front of him. It had to be. There was no other way. But he couldn't just give away that he knew yet, for 2 reasons. 1, if he admitted he knew, he'd lose the game Oma was playing. 2, it'd be an incredibly awkward conversation to explain what Momota had said. "Saihara-chan!" Oma waved his hand even more intensely. Oh, sorry, Oma. I was thinking." Saihara smiled warmly. Oma puffed out his cheeks. "Nope, you were just ignoring me. That's so rude." Saihara tried to ignore how cute Oma's pouty face was. "I wouldn't do that, Oma. It's kinda hard to ignore you. Of course I know that. I'm just that sexy. Oma looked proudly. Saihara snorted. Does Saihara-chan not think I'm sexy? He started tearing up. Saihara felt like dying on the spot. He felt his face warm up. Well, I don't know. I mean, well... Saihara really didn't want to see Oma cry. When he looked back up at Oma, he resumed a neutral expression. Saihara sighed at getting played. Well, anyway, I think I have a plan, Oma. Plan? Oma looked confused, but then understood. Plan to find the culprit. Oma lit back up. Yep, I'm going to lure them out, Saihara explained. I think I can do that, but I'm going to have to wait until they call again. Huh? Why's that? Oma tilted his head. Well, I assume they know where the radio station is based on the fact they go here. It's next to the Jabberwocky dorm. The seed was planted. So, I plan on luring them to the station and revealing it when they call me on the last day. So you still don't know who it is? Oma looked disappointed. How can you call yourself a detective? I didn't say that. Saihara tested his luck. That shut Oma right up. How will you lure them there, huh? Oma mocked. Saihara stood up and grabbed his stuff. I think I already have. He smiled. Well, I have a class, Oma. See you later. He waved and walked away. He didn't get to see the shock on Oma's face that turned to a light pink blush.